to go ahead and get started because we are going to be here for a minute. So I hope you guys have your drink. This is our monthly sub and sip. I'm gonna throw my iPad over to the side or my Surface so I can see your comments. And we are going to get this party started. So for today's sub and sip, we are working on this snow globe storyboard tumbler. I've seen it called both. Not sure there's a right or wrong way. I always say both for whatever reason. Hi, Missy. And so the first thing, when you do receive it, it does come in a box. And it's also wrapped in a protective sleeve of sorts. And this tumbler comes in 3 parts. So you have your lid, of course. You have the actual tumbler itself that holds the drink. And then you have this acrylic piece, which you use to form the actual snow globe. So it's a 3-part tumbler. And we can really say 2-part because all tumblers come with the lid. So don't be alarmed. You open your box and you saw that this was separated. This is how you actually make the snow globe portion. So we're going to do 2 parts to this video today. So a couple days ago, I started the process of the tumbler so that we could do the snow globe part on the live. But before we do that, we're going to actually sublimate this as well. So it is 2 parts. You do have to wait. Well, let me say this. If you use UV resin, you could get everything done in 1 day. If you use regular resin, you're going to have to wait a couple of days. I chose to use regular resin just because I've never used UV resin before. I did order some and it just arrived. But I know that the resin that I use it works. I've used it and I've used it and I've used it. These bottles actually are almost empty. You don't necessarily have to use this brand. This brand is a food safe resin. So if you're doing anything with a food product, like our decorative boards from last month's box, this is the resin that I use to coat those boards as well. But you can use whatever 2-part resin you have at home, or again, you can use UV resin. So step 1, we are going to sublimate the actual tumbler portion. I have my image. I have a sheet of blowout paper. I'm putting this in my convection oven, so I also have a piece of shrink wrap. Got my tape nearby, and we are going to go ahead and do this just the same way you would do a regular tumbler. For the measurements, this measures, I want to say 7 3/4. Yes, 7 3/4 wide by 7 1/2. And it's pretty much almost a perfect fit. It's a little, maybe like a 1/8 inch, possibly a 1/8 inch overhang. The other thing I want to note about your design, and it was very important in my case because I'm using photos, is you want to leave extra room at the top because the top of your images, they're going to be up under the lid of the tumbler. So you want to make sure that if you're using images or photos that you want to be seen, that you don't go all the way up to the top. So I'm going to take my little alcohol mist. I'm going to spray a cloth and just wipe my tumbler down. so I have my convection oven on. I am going to actually put this on 350 degrees. The instructions that came with our card in the box says 330 degrees. But I did the other one at 350, so I'm going to keep mine at 350, and I'm going to do it for 5 minutes. Let me set my timer. And then I'll put this in. We're going to go ahead and prepare the snow globe portion. So what I have right now in this cup is this is 2/3 cup of water. This is 1/3 cup of vegetable glycerin. Now, I do understand vegetable glycerin is not a product you just have at home on the shelf. This is the one I have. But I am a baker, so I do have this on hand. But in place of this vegetable glycerin, you can use a much cheaper option, which is baby oil. Baby oil is glycerin. So to my vegetable glycerin, I'm going to add some glitter. This is a glitz glitter from Michaels. I'm just going to add some of that in here just to give it a little sparkle. And then Peggy, I'm glad you brought that up about the tumbler press. I have seen I saw a video of someone actually doing this in a tumbler press. And what they did was leave the lip of the tumbler off of the tumbler press. So I think I will try it in my tumbler press. This is too cute, this little sparkly action happening in here. So I'm just stirring, making sure there are no clumps. I didn't add too much, so I'm not expecting it to clump, but all right, stop myself. I can go real crazy on the glitter. So I'm just want to mix it in really good. I don't know if you guys can see the sparkliness. Is that a word? And then to this, so this is a vegetable glycerin. I added glitter in here. You can also use mica powder in your glycerin if you just want to give your snow globe that little extra sparkle as well. And I'm going to pour in the water. And then we're going to stir. So you just want to stir. I'm going to let this sit a little. You want to make sure there aren't any bubbles. Also want to make sure that my glitter, which is now risen to the top, I want to make sure that that's not clunky. So I'm going to let this sit for a second. While that is sitting, let's check the timer. We've got 30 seconds. I am going to take my 2-part resin, which I have in a measuring cup, so you want it to be equal parts. And I'm going to pour one into the other. And then I'm going to stir. This is what I'm using to seal the snow globe to the actual tumbler. Let me grab the tumbler out the convection oven. I have one little area right up in here where I didn't have enough tape to hold the pressure. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, I can see it now. So it's a little light right up in there. But I like it. My dad's gonna absolutely love it. So I'm gonna go ahead and stir the epoxy. Usually when you use epoxy, you have to stir it forever because you don't want any bubbles. But in this case, we're basically just using this as a sealant to seal the snow globe to the tumbler itself. So it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to stir forever. But you definitely want to make sure that it's well combined. The other thing you need for this is a heavy object to sit on top of the tumbler once you attach the snow globe. Because again, with resin hardens at around the 8-hour mark, but it's not fully cured for 48 to 72 hours. So you want something heavy sitting on top of this once you seal it. So to seal it, you want to, let's determine the back of the tumbler, which for me, that is the back for me, where that light area is at the top. And when you close it, you want to make sure that the hole in the bottom of the snow globe portion is facing the back of your tumbler. So I am going to, you're going to pour your resin right into the lid. This is not touching the drink or anything like that. It's just the underside of the tumbler. You don't want to fill it up because again, we're going to take this and we're going to sit it right down in here. Okay. The other thing I recommend is the area where you're going to let this sit for 2 to 3 days to go ahead. Once you seal put your resin in here, go ahead and move to that place, put your lid on, and then put your heavy object on top of it. So I'm going to leave mine right behind me, but I'll go ahead and we will pour in the resin. And I would say about halfway. And you're just going to pour and rotate. Oops. I did that with the other one too. So I got a little bit on the tumbler. I'm going to wipe that off. I have a damp cloth handy for this very reason. Make sure none on the outside. Go ahead and pour this last little drop in. You don't need a lot of resin to do this. In a second, I'll tell you the measurement that I use because the first cup I did, I had way too much left over. I want to say this one was 7 milliliters. Both, it's hard to see the cup now that it's empty. Maybe it was 5. I used 5 of each 2 parts. So I'm going to locate my back again, and I'm going to go ahead and place this on here, but I'm going to move, guys. It'll be out of camera view so that I can leave it where I'm going to have it. I'm going to get this out of the way, and now we're going to get to the actual snow globe portion. So I am using this tumbler. We're going to make this snow globe action happen. Pauline, let me know how you're feeling about this now. Was the first part okay, where you feel like you can try it? you have to try it anyway because it's in your box. But did it ease the intimidation just a little bit? Just a smidge. So I'm going to do two things with this. First, let me grab some more paper. I'm going to add a little more glitter to the tumbler itself, but I'm actually going to use sequins in this tumbler. I have some gold, silver, yay, Dawn, and some white sequins, which I want to use because it sort of matches the school colors. Gotcha, Pauline. This one was easier to me. The hard part, of course, for me was getting that tape up underneath the lip. And you can see where I still didn't have, the tape still wasn't strong enough from that one section. That's the thing that I have to work on. It wasn't a problem the first time, but I don't know what happened this time. So if you're using glitter, guys, I have no idea what is too much glitter. I would say you don't, of course, want it to be so much glitter that you barely see the image or the design on your tumbler. Let's see if I can come up. So I'm going to stand up so that I can come in and you guys can see what's happening. So I'm going to add some more glitter. See it there on the bottom. Let's go in for the overkill just a little bit. Just a little bit. And I'm just gonna wipe away the excess. So I'm trying to get it in there first. Let's try that. So I see it trickling in at the bottom. And I'm going to throw some sequins in here. Let's see. Now, if I had a bottle with, I initially was going to use this. I picked this up with the Dollar Tree because I knew I could have more control with the spout. Thought about using this, which I also picked up at the Dollar Tree, but the mouth is a little wide. So I'm just gonna try it with, let's try it with the funnel. Hold on one second. I have a funnel one size down from that with a hole that is smaller. There we go. So let's see. Let's see, guys. All right, pour a little bit at a time so I can see. And then too much glitter. I got a clog of glitter right at the top. Let me do this. I can turn it upside down. Yep, I have a little clog of, I know it's hard to see, glitter. It is caked up like right here. And then I have some over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour in. And actually in here I can see, grab a spoon. Inside my solution, I have some of the glitter that's been sitting for a while. It's a little clump. It's very small. Actually, if I use a spoon, it breaks it up. Here's something I also didn't think about doing to this very moment, and that is before you attach your snow globe portion, take like a dryer sheet and use that to like wipe it out. Possibly so there's no static. Let's see. I'm really just trying to see if I want to add more, probably more sequins. I definitely don't want any more glitter. I have a clog of glitter right there. But I'm going to add more sequins and then I'll fill it up with water. Oh my goodness. So cute. So what would I do differently? The next time I will take the dryer sheet and wipe out the snow globe portion. I will add, if I'm going to add glitter to the vegetable glycerin, even though it didn't look like a lot, I would add a little less than what I did today. Now again, there were absolutely no measurements involved, but I would definitely add a little less. Or I added it in two places. So I added glitter into the vegetable glycerin and I also added glitter directly into the tumbler. I think the tumbler is an easier bet. All right, a little bit more water. So I poured enough water to basically give me a layer of water on top. You guys can see that just a little bit. So it gives me just enough when it's right side up. Or even like this, I can see where the whole thing is covered. So I am going to grab a paper towel. We're going to wipe off the top or the bottom. You want it to be completely dry before you add your glue dot. That's how we're going to seal the hole. And And then I saw a suggestion to, if you're going to cover the bottom with UV resin or glitter, and then the UV resin, to wipe this with alcohol. So I did get my UV resin kit today because I wanted to try this with you all, but I haven't had a chance to read the instructions because it showed up exactly at 8 o'clock. So I am taking a glue dot. I have the Gorilla adhesive glue dots, and I'm going to take one and use it to seal up the hole. And for these glue dots, I purchased these at Amazon, but Joann's also carries them. And I don't think there's anything specific about Gorilla glue dots. I also have another brand of glue dots that I got from Michael's. That I wanted to try out. But those were old. That's why I ended up buying glue dots. I use glue dots in my scrapbooking. So I'm going to take the glue dot and kind of just fold it in half. That way I'm at the center mark here on the tumbler. And I know this is very hard to see. It's a clear glue dot going on a clear tumbler. And just going to let it get down. Ooh. My hands are still wet. And then remove the backing of the glue dot. So I do have plans to cover this in glitter. I'm going to go with a gold glitter. I'm going to cover it in glitter and then put UV resin over top of it. And that will be on the tutorial, which should be up on YouTube sometime this weekend. The tumbler that we did today with the resin and the lip part, I'm going to wait, and in 3 days, I'll do the snow globe portion, and I'll record that as part of the YouTube tutorial. So I'll show that portion with the UV resin. You could also cover this with regular resin. You can use regular resin. It's just that you're going to take more time for it to cure. Kathy, I cannot agree with you more that there is not a rubber stopper for this. That is, I just couldn't believe it. A plug or something. Yes, Amy, I will post the supplies. They have an epoxy kit at Dollar Tree? Wow, you have an amazing Dollar Tree. So this is what I have left, right? This was 1/3 cup of vegetable glycerin and 2/3 cup of water. And I wouldn't be able to fill up a whole nother tumbler. So I'm definitely going to work on this ratio. You could always go back in and add more water or more. Let's test the glue dot. Look at that. No leaking. But you could always go back in and add more water or more glycerin, depending on how you want the flow. Now, the other thing that I did not do right, I probably didn't stir or shake that combination up because there shouldn't really be bubbles. There are bubbles in here. And a part of that is that glitter, these little patches of glitter. So I'll have to work on that. This one is, the other one is for my dad, so I probably won't put glitter in there, I'll probably just use the sequins. I actually just love it with the sequins, but my daughter picked this design when I showed it to her. So I thought I'd add a little glitter in there. So yes, I have to learn how to not have the glitter buildup or the bubbles. Yay, Pauline, I'm glad you're feeling better. So glad, so glad. This is definitely making me want to order more. I didn't think I was going to like this. Not because of what it was. I just keep thinking, are people sick of drinkware? If I show you guys, I have a whole cabinet that's dedicated to 1,001 cups. But this, no, I think people are going to absolutely love this. So what do you guys think? I think tomorrow I'll put the glitter on and try the UV resin, since it's supposed to cure in like minutes. Minutes. So the instructions that came with this kit said to put a layer of resin on the bottom before adding your glitter or mica powder. Ooh, I got stuck on the so I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I don't know, guys, if I'm really gonna like this. I hadn't planned on touching this, but it's clear that I can't see. How much? And then I'm going to take this UV lamp. I'm working in a smaller space, so I'm going to have to hold this. Okay, so I just finished doing another 2 minutes, and oh my goodness, this is cured. First time using resin. Now, what the resin did was amplify where the glue dot was. So now you can like easily see the glue dot right there. But I am going to go in and put glitter on this bottom and then go back in with another layer of resin. Oh, I thought this was open. I'm going to sprinkle on the glitter. And take my resin brush and just brush it around. Sorry, I know this is hard to see. I really want to use my finger. I'm going to go back in with some more UV resin. And once I go back in with the resin, I am going to put the light on it. Ooh, I don't like this. It's like bubbling up. So let me see if I can use. Oh yeah, this is gonna need some more practice. definitely gonna need some more practice on this. But I tell you what, the glue dot is hidden in here. Just trying to see if I can make it look neater. I think it looks neater. Yep, definitely a little neater. And then I am going to set my timer again, and then I'll be right back. All right, so I set it under the light for 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and there it is. It's a little messy, but yeah, I have to figure out. I wonder if you can just add the glitter directly into the UV resin. But other than that, it's good to go. I'm gonna leave it over here for now.